Okay, Assalamualaikum. So, my name is Muhammad Alif Luqman bin Muhammad Sabri. My student ID is 2021 883 776. I'm from GCS 143 and I'm from Shah Alam, Selangor.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Anwar Wadali. My student ID is 2021 8074. I am from GCS 143-2B and from Seremban Negeri 9. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Ashraf Fitri bin Muhammad Kamal. My student ID is 2021-4496858. I'm from JCS 143-2B and I'm from Batu Pahat, Johor.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Ada Iman bin Ahmad Junidi. My student ID is 2021-466-354.
My name is Ahmad Zudi bin Azman. My student ID is 2021-206-532. I am from class JCS 143-2B and I am from Prison 16 Putrajaya. I will explain the type of unemployment. There are 4 types of unemployment, which is first one is seasonal unemployment, second one is frictional unemployment, third one is structural unemployment, and the last one is cyclical unemployment. Okay, the first is seasonal. Some jobs whose demand fluctuates with the seasons. There is a scarcity of demand for a specific type of a product at a particular time of the year. In horticulture, harvest season is when labours are most needed. As example, winter and when the Christmas. Seasonal unemployment is inefficient use of labour and capital. Seasonal unemployment isn't surprising because this is a common thing nowadays. Okay, the second is frictional. Every economy has frictional unemployment, job, career or location changes. It's called voluntary unemployment because it is caused by a transition, not injury. Specialists who focus on another activity while still working don't count as unemployment. This type of unemployment conflict with free market forces and the labour market. Okay, the third one is structural unemployment. Structural unemployment is caused by economic decision and made worse by innovation, competition and government policy. Corporate workers' lack of essential job skills and expert inability to travel are two causes of auxiliary unemployment. Business needs jobs but specialists can provide them. Long-term structural unemployment is caused by economic decision. Therefore, mismatch between what business need and what specialists can provide. Okay, the last one is cyclical unemployment. Trade cycles affect the economy and cyclical unemployment. When unemployment fluctuates with trade cycles, it is characteristic of any economy that appears during a depression or recession and disappears when the country finance improves. Innovation, competition and government policy exacerbate structural unemployment. Unskilled corporate workers are unable to travel, experts cause auxiliary unemployment. Specialists can give business jobs.
So to explain the impact of unemployment, there is 3 types of unemployment. The first is economy, second is individual and society. So let's proceed.
The first is economy. Unemployment harm in the economy. As the world's largest second wheat exporter, unemployment will affect production. It will decrease the rate of production and the labour decrease. The second is no proper capital management. Unemployment indicate an inflation and undercapitalized economy, which low output. Capital without output workers for the company will not make any further and will not make any progress to the company. The third is no investment in training new labour. As we know, when people didn't have job for some period of time, they will lose their skill. So faced with a higher unemployment rate, business people presumption of employing an incompetent labour in research and coordination method are also higher, resulting in lower motivator to invest because the return benefit will sunset and higher likelihood of turning the labor, and will lead to less development and higher employment result. The second is individual. First is the individual will lose their skill. Many who are jobless for a long time may become inept as their professional abilities become outdated in an age of rapid medical development and genuine work desire. Second is employed people earn less than workers. People who don't have a job cannot have salary for a month, so this will lead to reduced power buying that I will explain next. Without unemployment benefit, situation will worsen. The third is employment reduces people buying power. Unemployed people and definitely live on a lower income. The things such as groceries, petrol, car loan, and etc. will increase, so costs rise as they remain unemployed. The fourth is it will affect youth and cause homelessness. As we know, youth unemployment have become global crisis right now. According to 2020 report from the International Labour Organization, the specialized agency of the United Nations, the global youth unemployment rate stands at 13.6%. It will affect country future as youth are nation future leader. The five is it will lead to mental health disease. According to WHO research shows that the long-term homelessness affect mental health. Long-term unemployed people will always experience this. The first is society become insecure. High employment rate lead to poverty, crime, vandalism, gang activity, etc. Unemployed people may turn to crime or drug. All of these issues are related to unemployment, so it will make society become insecure. The second is unemployment lower moral and cause human suffering. Job provide many social connection. People and social situation affect unemployment people health, happiness and health. If one has better job prospect or more social and family support, unemployment psychological effect are lesser. Those with a working spouse are likely less stressed and more satisfied with their money, work, leisure. But if their spouse do not have job, it will lead to mental health as no fixed income. The third is unemployment people among youth will not get family and society support. When people didn't have job, the time they spend at home will increase, especially among the youth who live far away from family. As we know, the data from WHO shows that staying home increase stress, which is dangerous and will lead to commit suicide. Family and social support promote fulfillment and physical health according to some data.
Okay, so next is measure to control unemployment. Okay, so the government of India has take some action to overcome the unemployment rate in India, which is by using the direct control measures, by using the training and technical education via two programs, which is Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushal Yojana and Pradhan Mentri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. Okay, on the 25th September of 2014, the Ministry of Rural Development (MORD) of India has announced the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushal Yojana, or as known as DDU-GKY. DDU-GKY is a part of the National Rural Livelihood Mission (NRLM), which has two objectives, which is to adding diversity to the income of rural poor family and to cater the career aspiration of rural youth. This step used by the India's government to curb the unemployment by focusing and helping the rural poor family who can hardly find a job to support themselves in rural area. DDU-GKY is uniquely focused on rural youth between age of 15 to 35 years old from poor family who are below poverty line and reach 16.16 million person entering into the working age each year. There is a need for them to be skilled, reskill and upskill. Therefore, DDU-GKY seeks to fill up this gap by imparting specific set of modular employable skill (MAS) needed to access full-time jobs in the formal sector. As part of the Skill India campaign, it plays an important role in supporting the social and economic programs made by the government. There are over 180 million or 69% of the country youth population between the age of 18 and 34 years. live in the rural areas. Of this, the bottom of the pyramid youth from poor family with no or marginal employment numbers are about 55 million, which is a very big numbers. So DU GKY give training-based position of 70% of the task focus to all students through the help of manager engagement with a monthly base prescribed pay of 6,000 Indian rupee. This can really help the people from rural areas to be employed as workers and give them opportunity to be involved in India's economic growth, which can lead to decreased rate of unemployment in India and can create a stable financial position between India and other countries. So the National Rural Livelihood Promotion Society (NRLPS) is a subset of National Rural Livelihood Mission (NRLM), which is helping NRLM by guiding and supporting the State Rural Livelihood Mission to conduct capacity building and training programs to various stakeholders and facilitate interstate collaboration in all missions which are conduct and helping the student in DDU GKY. Okay, so the second step made by the government to control the unemployment is by using the program of Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, or as known as PMKVY. The government of India launches PMKVY on 16 July 2015 under the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. It is to aim to encourage the Indian youth to join industry-based skill training to make them more employable and will then in securing a superior occupation which can boost to a better future for them and for the economics of India. Besides that, PMKVY is also aiming to develop a vast ecosystem for Indian youth for making informed choices on available skills avenue. With this, they can clearly know what kind of job they will get with the specific skill they had learned. Furthermore, PMKVY also support the Indian youth by giving them the certification and skill training for them which can help them for applying for the job they want to apply. By doing so, the chance they will get employed is higher than not having any proof of certificate of the skill they have learned. So next, people who have earlier learning background or have the skills can be affirmed under the Recognition of Prior Learning (RPL). RPL is designed to support access to higher education level for candidates who are gain degree-related knowledge and skills through informal study, which can help the students who are joining the PMKVY to be recognized and, if necessary, grant advanced standing for the expertise gained by skilled individuals in non-academic context. This can give opportunity for the student to gain much more knowledge to let them know what scope of work they can choose from. So furthermore, PMKVY also extend financial and placement assistance who have received certificate, which can boost the student spirits and help them a bit of financial support. By this, there are more people who are interested and willing to join PMKVY. Thus, by making this approach, the employment rate in India can be reduced. Next, the cause the India's economic growth to be rise, which can lead to stable financial rate.
The government of India has taken some action to overcome the unemployment rate in India, which is by using monetary policy by using lowering the base lending rate, bank rate and discount rate via program Mudra Yojana. Small enterprise play an important role in establishing job possibilities in developing countries like India, as well as contributing to the country's GDP growth. As a result, on April 8, 2015, the Modi government announced the Mudra Yojana with the goal of creating self-employment in the country. Mudra, or Micro Unit Development and Refinance Agency, intend to provide borrowers with framework rules that would assist them in correctly managing their business, improvement to conventional agreement governing credit availability to small-scale units, which will subsequently serve as the backbone of the smaller-sized firm. Creating and implementing a credit guarantee cooperate to provide guarantee to the advanced made to the miniature specialist unit. Developing a flexible framework for last-mile loan conveyance to small-scale specialist firms under the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana plan, which is PMMY. Mudra target client is the non-corporate small business segment, which is NCSB, which consists of millions of proprietorship or partnership firms operating in rural and urban area as small manufacturing units, service sector units, shopkeeper, fruit or vegetable vendor, truck operator, food service unit, repair shops, machine operator, small industries, artisans, food processor and others. The most significant impediment to the growth of entrepreneurship in the non-corporate small business sector, which is NCSBS, is a lack of financial assistance. More than 90% of the industry lacks access to official sources of credit. The government of India is establishing Mudra Bank through a statutory legislation to cater to the requirement of the NCSBS segment or the informal sector in order to bring them into the mainstream. The Mudra vision to be an integrated financial and support service provider par excellence, benchmark with global best practice and standard for the bottom of the pyramid universe for their comprehensive economic and social development. Whereas the mission is to foster an inclusive, long-term and value-based entrepreneurial culture in conjunction with our partner institution in order to achieve economic success and financial security. Next, the government of India using fiscal policy to overcome the unemployment rate in India by using increased government expenditure via program SGRY, which is Sampurna Gramin Rozgar Yojana. On September 25, 2001, the India government established a central sponsor plan to provide wage employment to the rural poor with the primary goal of boosting their nutritional status through food availability and ensuring the general development of rural regions. The SGRY will be available to all of the poor in the country who want wage and wish to conduct manual and inept labor in and around their town and environment. When it comes to compensating business, preference may be given to agrarian breadwinner, non-rural incompetent worker, minor agriculturists and women. Wage under the SGRY will be distributed to recipients in cash and food grains, respectively. Wage paid under the SGRY for skilled and unskilled labor will not be less than the state-mandated minimum wage. A minimum of 5 kg of food grains for labor is supplied as part of remuneration under the SGRY system. The remainder of the salary is paid in cash. However, at least 25% of wage should be paid in cash. To develop more wage employment, the central government grant cash component and food grains to state government or UT administration. Beneficiaries will take up work or employment within the available funds based on the need of the region.
First, modification of industrial technique. The production method used by the industry must be in accordance with the wish and custom of the local community. This is closely related to the rapid and widespread use of the technology in every industry at this time, which will affect the reduction of manpower consumption. Therefore, the emphasis on the industrial sector to encourage the use of labor intensive rather than capital intensive technology needs to be done at an immediate rate by the government or the authorities. This is because it is important to provide opportunities for old and new employees to remain employee in the industry by training them in managing the latest technology and machinery. Thus, it can prevent workers from being laid off, and the issue of the use of technology and machinery that will replace the labor force will be curbed. Second, increase employment opportunities in the government. From another point of view, unemployment can be curbed by increasing the number of employment opportunities in the government sector or the authorities. The success of a country administration depends on its civil servants, unlike an industry that relies on manufactured goods. Therefore, the government has an advantage in expanding its financial resource, such as making more profitable investment and so on. The government civil service will definitely improve when a large number of employees are hired on a regular basis. As a result, the employment environment will be more comfortable and productive, helping the country economy to become stronger and more stable. Therefore, the government needs to offer more employment opportunities in the government sector or the authorities, such as police, firefighter, soldier, in order to reduce the problem of unemployment. Third, systemic change in education. There needs to be a radical overhaul of the education system. This is because most graduates are unemployed due to not having the necessary skill or criteria in an industry. Furthermore, most of the courses offered by university or college are not suitable for finding employment. To ensure that unemployment does not occur among graduates, university or college need to produce graduates who meet the need of the industry by abolishing unprofitable courses and instead can improve important courses. Not forgetting also vocational education, because it can produce young people who are skilled in using the latest technology and machine. Thus, graduates can get jobs easily when they have the skill or criteria required by the industry. Furthermore, a handful of them are able to launch their own business.
In conclusion, there are numerous strategies that can be used to tackle the unemployment issue. Many individuals of society have recently chosen not to pursue higher education. Instead, they keep dabbling in the field of work they are interested in, believing the knowledge they have learned will benefit them more than enrolling in pricey institutions of higher learning. Therefore, in order to resolve the crisis we are currently experiencing, all parties must cooperate. Each of us will undoubtedly have the ideal employment options and a wage that is in line with every phase of life as we know it in the future.